it's me, it's Kuyomu, and I'm here to show you the brand new, adjusted, much more beginner friendly, and much more easier to set up. And if you wish, with a no more tier gear, you can simply copy the passive trees and the gem setups and make it work. No more sheets and no more calculations needed. But please do aware the DPS and the damage output of this build is only about half to compared to the last build, which requires tons of more tweaking. But the survivability of this build is, if the last build is when you put it back together, not with care, the survivability of this build might be way higher, because it let you simply stand on the choked ground and never die as long as you have enough flask energy shield recovery. So let's begin. I'll call this build the Burying Invocation Dualcaster Infernalist build. So let's begin. You see, this is the stats what I got showed in the showcase you have seen before. Now, let's just mess it up. Assuming I have pretty bad gears, let's say I took off my rings and I have a, maybe I can find an even worse rope. No, yeah, this, well, I don't have enough strength for it. Maybe this one. 52 energy shield. That was the one I got at level 20, I guess, from the shop. Pretty bad. Let's equip this one. Even worse. And let's put this one. So now I have pretty bad states, which none of you should have. But with the proper setup, and please follow the instruction I tell you. I also put some text on the screen so you can follow it much more easier. So basically, we have our Bury Invocation, and I assume that you have 4 slots instead of 5, which costs extra. For the last slot, I just dropped it when I farming with my Demon build, with of course the last one with with double comets. But let's assume that you have only 4 slots. You simply put 1 comet into it, and one of the spare that, together with the comet, when transformed into the demon form, can exactly fill up your infinite flame. I'll show you later, but now it's more in the case about the energy calculation or the energy gain for our Bury Invocation. So you see I'm currently at 0% Bury Invocation energy, and what we have to do is, first, it doesn't matter if you are in demon form or the normal form, because the energy calculation is totally independent from it. So what we should do the first is hurt ourselves once. Get your fire resistance capped as the usual. You put your gear all together. You now no longer need to calculate your whether you should improve your fire resistance. Well, I mean, you can improve it later, but as long as you you remember how we can adjust it to rebalance it, you can make it work every time. And you should no longer worry about if you level up and you mess up everything, because it will work forever once you set up it, as long as you do not touch the fire resistance. If you touch it, it might no longer work, but you can do simply steps, as I show you in the next steps, to get it work again. So basically what we do is we use any spells to fill up our Infinite Flame gauge. It's no matter whether you are in under demon form or the normal human form, we just hurt ourselves and check how many energies we get from our Barrier Invocation. Now let's do it. You see, I've get only 47 energy on it. Our goal is to make each self damage, or each time we fill up our Infinite Flame, we get at least 100%, because over 100% we will not see it. So let's just adjust our energy gain. You might see I have already allocated all these energy gain points, because this setup is so easy to fill the requirements that you might not even need any of these points. So let's just put it back. I put it now 8, 8, 15, which gives about 31%, and we try it again. Okay, we have 56, and we put this one back again. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's another 24%, and let's just check it if we get enough. 62. Okay, we don't have enough. Sorry. Yeah. And what we can do the next is, if we do not have our enough sufficient, we just put like this. We have this one, this one, this one. I simply put or spam put the energy gain duo into it. And let's try again. I just got 45% more. And let's see if it works. No, it not work. So in this case, I can go on to get more. Let's just see if it works. Yes, here's another 50% more, 15% more. And let's try again. Okay, still too less. Let's do it. One more step. Let's just unequip this one. I got 78. %. So I guess I also I put another energy gain into it. Let's get another 50%. Okay, we still leak a little, need a bit more, but we can make it. If I remember it correctly, we can still get more. Where can I do? Yeah, what we can do is just get a little bit more energy shield, or we simply get rid of all our fire resistance. This now should work. Now we have 100%. So the energy gain is matched. Actually, if you're using no more gears, like this one, you had way more energy shield than needed. Yes, you see that I have over 6K. Let's just take all this off. So I mean, if you get you have a normal one and get like this good stats, you just fill up your energy shield, your barrier invocation energy to up upon 100%, and that's it. So the base requirements are met. What we now need to do is, well, I just recommend use Comet here, and we find another skill. In this case, in my case, I use Bone Cage. What we have to do is we ensure that one comet, the cost of the comet, the mana cost of the comet, plus the mana cost of a Bone Cage will be larger than the Infinite Flame. So what we know is that actually you can just test it by simply unslot it, and you can use a spell cascade here, and you can see, okay, spell echo. Bone Cage works also with a spell echo, so this one will work. It's just because the GGG do not calculate it or correct the cost, the mana cost when you put it into a barrier invocation or something like that, as long and a support gem that increases your cost. In our case, I have in demon form, let's say it, I have 171 mana for Bone Cage, plus 471 for Comet, which gives 642, and multiplicated with 1.5, the 150% cost multiplier from the spell echo, and 0%, 0 extra from the considered casting, which gives 963, which is more than the Infinite Flame I get, meaning this setup will work. And it's basically what you should do next is simply test it. You see, the loop is working, but I'm getting too much damage currently because the flask recovery was too low. And what we have to do the next is simply put it back, put it back, put it back, put it back. I mean, these are the increased life recovery from flask. Put it back, and now I can almost spam. It's just how you can how you have to fix the energy gain, and I assume that I can still loop even with yeah. In this case, I can loop even with 80%. You see, and if it gives me flask recoveries. You see it? Whether you can hold it for long, it just really depends on how good your flask is and how much regen you can get. I lose currently the 10% from my flasks, from my gloves, and also the 2% maximum fire resistance from it. But instead, you can just simply put, let's just test it. If we have more than enough energy, let's just take all this point back away. Yes. Unlock, deactivate, activate, 100%. That means this 4 point, we can use it somewhere else, like this one, to get a little bit more. Yes, and now we have 7.6k. which is enough for us to spam it, right? And it's basically it. The simple step is, I repeat it now, so let's repeat what you have to do, what you should do. First, you gear up with any gear, or just follow the guide, use a ghost wire, rope, and one mince heart. And the rest, you just follow the guide. Here you want to want a little bit spirit, or you can just ignore it. If you don't want to run the blasphemy aura for extra survivability, you can and you want to save budget, like using, I don't know if I have one, like using such these kind of amulet, or these kind of amulet. Well, that is the one I've used for a long time. This one I use for my initial build. Okay, but if you have no spirit, you have to take this one here. Let me show you. You simply, if you don't have enough spirit, you simply unspec this one, and instead you spec it here. To reserve 25% of your maximum life and get a little bit more spirit. You see, I got like about 20 spirit more. And there you should be able to run the Alchemist Bone with Herbalism, or if you have at least 35 spirit on your necklace, then you can run Blasphemy on it. Okay, that's the extra information. And if you have enough, you might also want to run simply the Hare Hunt. Okay. So you put your gear together again. No matter what kind of gear you get, you have your life and resistance here, right? And yeah, and what you do, the first step is deactivate your barrier invocation and reactivate it by simply right mouse click twice on the icon in your skills panel, and you see here you get the 0% barrier invocation energy, and you hurt yourself once. If this number not show as 100%, you try to get these points here, or even slot, no matter what kind of the sapphire that you get, that with the meta skills gain 15% or less, you spam it until you get 100% here, which is easy, as long as you have some setup like this, like 800 or over 6k energy total life and energy shield. It should be very, very easy, because you basically do not need anything extra. A level 18 barrier invocation with 20% quality on it, and once you have you're sure that as long as you hurt yourself, and notice only once you hurt yourself only once, and check if your barrier invocation energy goes from 0% to 100%. If it's the case, then just go on. If not, you try to get more energy gain either from your passive tree here, and or use the sapphires with a meta skills gain energy. So now you have 100% barrier invocation. You transform into the demon form and do the next tweak. You read the comment for the cost from the comet and the cost from the other spell you want. I suggest use Bone Cage or the Ice Nova, which is also great. And sum up the cost of them. In this case, it is 171 plus 471. And in most cases, as long as it's an AoE spell, AoE, the spell echo will work on it. So you multiply the cost together with on it. So like that, it's a spell echo 1.5, and check if this value is greater than your Infernal Flame showed here, your maximum Infernal Flame. If it is, well, I mean at least 10% more. So in my case, it works. Well, not 10% more, but like 50 points more. If it is a case, then you are good to go. The next is simply fix your flex regeneration, your energy shield regeneration from your flasks, and you're good to go. And that's basically it. I'll make a macro guide for this simplified build. I'll pin it on the comment. And I wish you guys all happy with the new simplified build and all able to get it running without much issues. And I wish you just a good day. Bye.